mwananchi. But we don't know. They are smiling.
Okay.
But
they're smiling because they have a budget that is going to, maybe the plans that they have for the country, maybe they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel in regards to this. And just coming back, because it has been championed, and you say, yes, some of these things may be, they might actually get to achieve it, but at what expense? That's the question that people are asking. If you say you want to tax people more, what do you expect them to do in the long run in regards to the cost of living and all that? Let me come to the issue of whether increasing the tax base for this particular budget and getting to raise revenue. It is seen. Do you think, because we've been having KRA missing targets most of the time, this particular time, are we likely to see a change in regards to that?
Definitely there will be some change in terms of the total revenues that will be collected, because if you look at the measures that KRA has put in place, one of it being the e-teams, where they require all the taxpayers who are registered for VAT to have the electronic tax register. Now that means at that point of issuing an invoice or issuing a receipt to your customer, that income directly reflects on the KRA system. So that means you have no option but to declare that income.
Okay.
Previously, you could maybe you could choose on what income to declare based on how risky it is. But currently, when you have that e-teams, it means you are sure or you are required to declare that income that you have made. And so, together with all the other developments that KRA has put in place, there's likely to be an increase in the revenue collections, also coupled by the recent or the proposed changes in the finance bill, because the finance bill is, I will say, is where the government is expecting to get money from, and then the budget is where the government is expecting to spend that money on. So the finance bill is, I will say, the source of income, and then the budget is the expenditure. So if you look at the proposals in the finance bill, most of them are anchored towards raising or increasing the tax collection in the long run.
Okay.
So there will be an increase in actually the tax collections.
All right. So there'll be an increase in tax collection. Let me come back to the issue of the deficit, because we are going to have a deficit.
Yes,
where this money is supposed to come from?
Get money to finance that budget. So that money will come from the mwananchi and borrowing.
Okay.
And if I say borrowing, at the end of the day, it's still the mwananchi who will pay. So it's definitely 100% on mwananchi.
Yes. And let's look at in terms of allocation, because you do understand there's been provision results in terms of what has been allocated. What do you think should have been given priority in this particular budget?
Well, if I can recall again what I said on radio in the morning, based on the number of promises that our president Ruto gave us during the campaign period, I think if we have to go by those promises, those are the things that, or those are the areas that he needs to place much concentration on. The raising of, uplifting of the mama mboga, and I want to believe that this ministry called or in charge of medium and small enterprises should be given a higher allocation, so that it can be used to make projects or developments that are geared towards informal sector, because it's the informal sector carries a very big chunk of Kenyans. Those who are self-employed or those who are just doing normal small business, it carries a big chunk of such a citizen. Okay. So I would want to believe that the government will direct all their efforts, or most of their efforts, toward such sectors. The sectors of mama mboga, of boda, the transport industry. It employs a lot of people in the informal sector. Okay. So I would want to believe that the government should direct more of the efforts in those sectors that are going to give employment opportunities to those in the informal sector. Okay. And also, as a way of growing the economy of the country, you can't do away with manufacturing.
All right.
You have to invest in manufacturing. And so I will want to, I believe the government should be very much concerned on how they can improve the manufacturing sector in this country, because the manufacturing sector will give employment to the citizenry. besides giving employment to the citizenry, it will produce more goods that will be ready for the external market. Now that's market outside Kenya. And when you do that, our balance of payments, it means we'll be increasing our exports. And when we increase our exports, it means our balance of payments will be going down, because we are having more exports than imports.
Okay.
So we cannot import something we are not manufacturing. We are not export something we are not manufacturing.
Right now, I do believe that we've given so much priority to education. Was this the right move from where you sit?
Yes, I believe, because there's the new syllabus, the 844 syllabus. That's sorry, the CBC curriculum.
The CBC curriculum.
The CBC curriculum, yes. You see that CBC curriculum, it's like we are expecting more from that CBC curriculum, more than what we can see right now. So in the event that the government is going to direct more efforts on the education sector, definitely it will be in the implementation of the CBC, because CBC started around 3 or so years ago, and it started at I think class 5 or something. So at this time, those students who are in grade 5, nowadays they call grade 5, you know, we are used to classes.
Class 5.
So, yeah, so those who are in grade 5 at that time when the CBC was starting, they are now, I think, in grade 7. Definitely, there is more expectation from them. To add on that, there is that junior secondary. Junior secondary is a whole new thing. You need classrooms for those students. You need teachers, to hire teachers for those students. You need other administrative staff to cater for those students. So definitely the education